Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Stretford, Paddock. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at. We have got plenty to get stuck into today as the Mason Mount potential transfer took another twist. Manchester United apparently pulling out of the race and shifting their attentions to Moises Caicedo of Brighton. I know, I hear you scream at your phone or TV or however you're watching this, saying, hold on, Adam, doesn't Moises Caicedo cost more than Mason Mount? But apparently, that is what Manchester United are about to do. We'll be getting stuck into all the latest reports. Make sure you're keeping it locked to Stretford Paddock as well by hitting that subscribe button. We have recently hit 700,000 subscribers. I have been here since 2013, 10 years plus now. I've been doing this. Incredible stuff. Thank you to all you guys that obviously subscribe to the channel. You've made a lot of my dreams come true over the last 10 years anyway. And we are going to continue having plenty of fun here on the channel and hopefully see Man United lift a few trophies as well under Erik ten Hag. This summer is a big one. We're going to be in America for the pre-season tour. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. But as I said, we're going to get stuck into this or these reports regarding Moises Caicedo and Mason Mount. We've got a few other things to discuss as well, so let's get started. And we heard late last night from the Times and from Jonathan Northcroft, that Manchester United had dropped their interest in Mason Mount and are now preparing a bid for Moises Caicedo. It went on. As well as preparing a bid for Moises Caicedo, United will also step up attempts to sign a new centre forward. We're being linked with Rasmus Højlund and Kolo Muani as well as two potential names being looked at. It looks like if that's the case, United have moved on from Harry Kane. Obviously, Harry Kane was being linked with a move to the club, and apparently United have backed off that one, hoping he either tries to force his way out or we can just move on to our other targets ASAP. And apparently Mohamed Kudus, obviously not a striker, is another who could come under consideration. Mohamed Kudus being linked with Manchester United as well. I've also seen him linked to who did I see him linked to now? Brighton and Hove Albion, interestingly enough. I've seen him linked there. Wouldn't surprise me if he went there. Their transfer business has been pretty shrewd and pretty good, and it could be a good signing for them. We do hear though that Brighton, this article goes on to say in the Times, Brighton value Moises Caicedo around £80 million, considerably more than the 58 plus 7 million that Chelsea were demanding for Mason Mount. But United are prepared to take into account his younger age and different contract situation. Obviously, he signed a new contract in January, I think it was. He was linked with a move to Arsenal. That move didn't materialise, and Moises Caicedo signed a new deal, which was weird, really, because why are you signing a new deal if you're still going to want to leave 6 months later? Obviously, you benefit of 6-7 months in terms of higher wages, but why would you do that? Unless Brighton still said, look, you know, we just want to strengthen our position in terms of the transfer fee we get. We'll still be happy to sell you. But it's still a bit of a weird one for him to do that. The article goes on to say, United have been maintaining a dialogue with Moises Caicedo's representatives while going for Mason Mount and will now intensify efforts to explore a deal. There is sympathy at Manchester United for Mason Mount. The offer of 55 million will be left on the table and there could still be room for compromise with Chelsea if they are willing to enter talks about closing out a deal at around that mark. There's a belief at Man United that Chelsea are trying to apply a Manchester United tax. Bear in mind they sold Mateo Kovacic to Manchester City for £30 million. Ten Hag is thought to be on board with all these decisions to switch midfield targets. He doesn't want to be burnt in terms of overpaying for Mason Mount, although he does want Mason Mount to join Manchester United. And I gotta say, this could be a very shrewd move by Man United. Look, you either get Chelsea to accept the price that you've offered, or you go ahead, you try and sign someone like Moises Caicedo, and if Mason Mount's meant to be, he can still sign for you next summer on a free, or in January on a knockdown price, or towards the end of the transfer window when Chelsea need to let him go because they want to bring in some funds. So I do like this move by Manchester United. It's clearly a negotiating tactic. We've heard Chelsea are interested in Moises Caicedo as well. But we have been linked with Moises Caicedo a lot. A lot. We were linked with him potentially signing for 5 million from Independent Del Valle before he joined Brighton. And we didn't do that. So we have had opportunities to sign him before. Speaking previously, Caicedo was said, "My dream is to play for Manchester United. Antonio Valencia is an example to follow. With his strength and dedication, he was able to get to that level. That motivates me to keep working hard and do the right thing." We also had an update this morning from Fabrizio Romano on the Mason Mount situation. He says the £55 million bid remains valid. Decision made together with Ten Hag. No chance to overpay. United want Mason Mount as he's showing strong desire to join, and they won't make any unrealistic bid. Mason Mount's team still believe he will leave. So that's where we're at currently. Moises Caicedo, I think, would be a fantastic signing for Man United. Obviously not the 8/10 that Mason Mount is, more of a 6/8. Could play him as an alternative to Casemiro. You could play him alongside Casemiro as well in that midfield, and I think he would give you a great option in there. In my opinion, we do need both profile of midfielders. We need a Caicedo and we need a Mason Mount. I'd love us to get both. Probably not going to happen unless we get Caicedo now and Mason Mount on a free in next summer. So I think we do need both profile of midfielders, but I'd be happy with us signing either of them and potentially looking at other alternatives. One of those other alternatives could be Adrien Rabiot. And Dean Jones, I think it's our Bleacher Report, said, "I told the player him, sorry, Give Me Sport, he said it on. I'm told the player himself is quite surprised there hasn't been more fuss over the fact he could move. This is a player that would upgrade pretty much any squad, and more than that, he would give most starting lineups better. Arsenal are being linked, but Man United might yet come in for him. I think his experience and qualities would really benefit United, would certainly be helpful to bring in if their takeover is going to drag on, and making big money signings is more difficult this summer." Again, if we're going to let go of McTominay, Fred, which I hope is the plan, you can potentially raise 50 million. If you sign a midfielder and bring in Adrien Rabiot, our midfield looks immediately better. You could still do with another one in there, but it looks immediately better. And it'll enable us to then obviously look elsewhere for our other signings. You want to get that goalkeeper. Onana's continuously being linked with Manchester United. You want to be able to get that striker as well, as we mentioned earlier, Rasmus Højlund and Kolo Muani being linked with the club. United need to make those deals happen, but we got so much to strengthen on. We don't know what's going to happen with the ownership situation yet. There's just so much up in the air. And we have to sell players as well to raise more funds to buy. Ooh, there's going to be more twists and turns, I think, in these deals for Mason Mount, Moises Caicedo. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mason Mount ends up at Man United, Moises Caicedo ends up at Chelsea. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's the other way around. Anything can happen. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back very, very soon. See you in a bit.